All right, everybody, welcome back to another edition of UFTA Premium. I'm your host, Darren Walters, and it's great to have you here. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about in this particular session because wholesale changes have been made regarding the way we actually keep track of the score. Okay. And what am I talking about? Well, the idea is because my brother-in-law pointed out this fatal mistake in UFTA where we were double penalizing people, taking their spent expenses, taking those tokens off throughout the game, putting them in the container, and then taking off the container amount again. Well, that was unnecessary. To remedy this problem, we've come up with a solution, which is the 3-metric system, okay? And so all that really means is we've got 3 ways to measure whether or not somebody actually won the game, because it's not straightforward. The person with the most net tokens at the end of the game isn't necessarily the best farmer, right? And so what we have there, the 3-metric system, the first metric is going to be total net tokens that you have at the end of the game plus assets, right? Assets being, you own the disc seeder, cultivator, harvester, or resource shop equipment items. Whatever their intrinsic value is, or depreciated value, is going to be added to the net tokens that you actually have on your farm at the end of the game. Okay, so that's one metric, and that, so far is the least useful metric, right? It's just a broad picture, right, of what we're trying to show. And so the second metric is the grower efficiency rating, which I may have mentioned on a previous video. But all that is simply what you do is you take the total tokens earned and spent in the game. So you get to the end of the game, you look at your remaining 100 tokens and assets, and you combine that with the amount that's in the token container, and that tells you the reality of how many tokens you actually earned. Because obviously you can't spend tokens unless you earn them first, right? And so we're going to take that amount, and then we're going to divide by the number of tokens that are in the token container, or the expenses. And what that does is it gives you a ratio of how many tokens were earned versus tokens spent. For every 1 token I spent, I earned X amount of tokens, right? And so that's how that's going to play out. All right, so that's the grower efficiency rating. The third metric we're going to use is the pricing index, okay? I'm sorry, the expense index, okay? And all that really refers to is the total tokens earned. There's kind of a special way to do this. What you do is you're setting up a ratio. If you remember math way back in your high school days or your middle school days, we're setting up proportions of fractions, okay? But anyway, what it really just boils down to is we're finding how many expenses, the token expenses that you have, and we're going to represent that as a percentage of the total tokens earned and spent, okay? And so we do that. It's a funny way to do that. What you do is you multiply the tokens that were in the token container, or your expenses. You take that number and you add, you multiply it by 100, right? And then you divide that number by the greater number, which is the total tokens earned and total tokens spent, the gross figure, right? And that will give you a percentage, and that percentage tells you, once again, how many expenses were going out versus tokens being earned, right? And so that's a third measurement, which can help us in close games where the numbers are pretty close, or if they're tied, in fact. It's a tiebreaker scenario. And the useful thing about this is we can track this wonderful stuff throughout a UFTA growing season. Not the growing season of the game, but the season itself, where people are gathering together at some location and playing UFTA together and earning money. Okay? And so along those lines, we also want to emphasize the fact that UFTA is also it's a learning experience. One of the catchphrases or one of the mottos I think for UFTA should be at UFTA we create growers and learners. All right, and that's reality. That's like life too, right? I mean, you have to take some risks. You gotta break a few eggs, and you gotta make mistakes. You gotta fail. Don't ask me why that is, but these are words of wisdom that have come from all walks of life. You have to be willing to fail, kind of look ridiculous, because the learning is more important than anything else. Okay, and so in UFTA, we've learned a lot, we've failed a lot, and we've grown together. Right? That's kind of the experience that I want to convey to future generations. To go ahead and make sure you take some risks in your life instead of playing it safe. So anyway, so what we're going to do is throughout the season, we're going to have metrics. We're going to have special awards that are given out to growers that don't necessarily relate to winning the game, because there's all kinds of different ways to be successful and win in UFTA, right? And so one of the ways you can win is by helping others. There's going to be a most valuable player, kind of like in sports, where somebody took the time to help others out, and instead of competing all the time, they lifted their team up, and mutual goals were achieved because there's just a greater emphasis on the group or the team effort. So in that sense, we want to reward that person with a special award. I don't know what amount it's going to be yet, but we're also going to string out some other rewards, such as the person who earns 1,000 points first. Right, that's going to happen sometime, probably mid-season. Cross that threshold. So there's that. There's of course the grower efficiency rating, most valuable player. And that person is going to be the person who maybe improved the most. I guess I should say it's the most improved player, not the most valuable. And so, there's going to be all kinds of these little rewards that are related to tactics and strategies, or best ideas, most creative approach to the game. And we're just going to have a wonderful panoply of rewards and motivations and goals present in the game to keep you satisfied. Okay, and so with that in mind, I think that's going to do it for this week's UFTA. Let me know if you have any comments or questions in the video description, or the video comments beneath the video. And as always, keep on playing until I see you next time. Adios, everybody.